Yo, this is going to be a rambling, a rant, but I want to talk about this particular subject. But first things first, um, I do this for me, for venting purposes, and if you don't like it, please get the fuck off my channel. I'm not looking for any praise nor accolades. Now, back to the subject at hand. I want to talk about a few things. Actually, I want to talk about a couple of things. And the first thing I'm gonna get off my chest. Um, After this election, the 2024 election, Donald Trump won, which is all good. But it got me thinking. Well, I've been thinking about this for a very, very long time, but I never had the chance to address it until now. In my honest opinion, you know, we live in a society right now, not just a society, but we live in a world system that's based off of commerce, aka the bottom line, and the bottom line, which is money. And it had me thinking for a very, very long time. The difference between the Republicans and the Democrats and all that stuff. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter if you vote for Republican or Democrat. It all boils down to one thing. Actually, actually a couple of things, but just one main thing. It actually boils down to one thing. It's how does this benefits me? How does this benefits me? And what I mean by how does, this particular person or their policies benefits me, whether you're Republican or Democrat, I'm going to take the words from John the Analyst said a long time ago. Well, it ain't a long time ago, but I'm going to take the words from this YouTuber by the name of John the Analyst. He said this on a couple of his live streams. And he said something like this: what's in your wallet? You get what I'm saying? How does this benefits me? AKA, in the words of John the Analyst, what's in your wallet? See, it's all about the money. It's all about the bottom line. How can these particular people and their policy serve me, aka my wallet? Because we live in a world system that's based off of commerce. We live in a society that's based off of commerce as well. Money. Money, they say money makes the world go round. And it's true, you know what I'm saying? Because this whole system, this world system, is based off of money. So when it comes to, in my honest opinion, when it comes to our votes, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Libertarian, it all revolves around the bottom line, which is the money. How can these people and their policy serve me and my wallet? And that's about it, man. That's about it. It's all about what's that old saying, man? Follow the money. It's all about the money, man. You just gotta follow the money. Follow the money, man. And then speaking of money, this is another topic I want to talk about too. When it comes to the court systems, this is how I know that the world that we live in, or should I say America? But I know definitely, I know definitely America. I know definitely in America, but I'm starting to realize the whole world as well is going downhill. Like the world itself is going downhill, especially in America. And I'll tell you why. In the court system, just because you have the money and the connections does not give you the right to exit out of a crime that you've committed. You get what I'm saying? Like if all the evidence and in some cases the DNA proves that you're guilty of a crime, it doesn't matter how much money that you have. It doesn't matter the connections that you have as well. If you are guilty of the crime, you have to do the time. Plain and simple. And like I said before, crime does pay on both ends. You might make a lot of money in the forefront, but in the back end, you're going to pay for the repercussions, aka if you get caught by the legal system, the justice system. But in this case, though, man, if you're guilty of a crime, you have to do the time, plain and simple. You can't just buy your way out of prison. So you can't just buy your way out of a jail sentence, even if Even if even if the evidence proves that you're guilty, you can't just buy your way out of freedom. But now I'm starting to realize this been going on for a long time now, man. But I never had a chance to talk about this. But for a very long time, people who had the money and the connections and all that stuff, they bought their way. They bought their way into freedom. They bought their way for freedom, and they didn't have to do any time at all, really. That's because of the connections and the money. And it's very sad and it's very unfortunate. And that's why I say that this whole justice system needs a fucking U-Haul. And this whole criminal justice system that we're in right now, it needs a complete revamp, a makeover. You know what I'm saying? It needs a lot of deep and heavy deconstruction. Because the way how things is going right now, like if you have the proper money and the proper connections, you can buy your way out of any crime nowadays, and that's very unfair. That is very unfair indeed, very unfair, and it's not fair for the victims, for the victims. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair for the victims. We have to show that the justice system is a fair system. We have to show that the justice system is a fair but yet powerful system. You know what I'm saying? We can't, the justice system can't go beyond their means in punishing people, but we have to let the criminals know that when you do the crime, you have to do the time. Plain and simple. You can't just buy your way into freedom like that. You can't just buy your way out of jail. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And we have to, bring things back to its proper perspective. We have to bring balance back. And the balance is justice. You know what I'm saying? The balance is justice in this particular aspect. We need to show these criminals that we mean business. Plain and simple. And but going back to what I said before, man, this whole world is, the world system that we live in is all about commerce. It's all about the bottom line. And when it comes to voting, doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian or whatever. It all boils down to what these people and their policies benefit me, aka what's in your wallet. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. And also when it comes to politics and government, I understand that, politics and government and religion, I get that when it comes to talking to people about situations like that, it's best not to do it at all. I understand. Sometimes it's best to not talk about religion and politics with one another because it separates people. And to tell you the truth, it really shouldn't separate people at all. As long as we can agree to disagree on certain things, we can still be cordial. We can still be respectful. So we can still be cordial and be respectful, but for the most part, we can still be friends. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when it comes, I know this might sound silly, but that's just like when it comes to foods or beverages. I might like apple juice, and this person might like orange juice. But overall, we can still be friends. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when it comes to martial arts. I'm into karate, and the other person's into kung fu. But we can still be friends. You know what I'm saying? We may agree to disagree on certain things, but we can still, be cordial, be respectful, and in some cases, we can still be friends. But when it comes to politics and religion, I understand it's a serious issue, but we can still agree to disagree. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. In my honest opinion, when it comes to religion, now, in my honest opinion, when it comes to religion, if Jesus the Christ and Muhammad would have appeared like right now, if Jesus and Muhammad was here right now, you know what they would do? They would literally sit down with each other and create solutions to the world's problems. Because even though both of those dudes represents two different doctrines, they will still have the fortitude to come together and work things out for the betterment of the human race. That's my honest opinion. I really think and believe that if Jesus and Muhammad was here right now, they would literally sit down with each other and create solutions to the world's problems. because they both of those dudes represents two different doctrines. They can still have the fortitude to work things out with each other, and also help the people and also help the people all over the world. You know, though that's how great minds think. That's how great and powerful minds think. They would put down their differences. They would put away their differences and sit down and create, solutions to the problems that they're facing with right now. And those are the type of people I like to hang out with for the most part, man. Those are the type of people that we should admire and take notes from. You know what I'm saying? We should really do that. Especially when it comes to blacks. I said black people, listen, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like the way how I'm gonna be real with you, man. The way how things is going right now, like the way how blacks is acting, all that stuff. By the year 20, by the year 2026 or 2030, blacks will be a permanent underclass. I say by the year 2030, blacks will become a permanent underclass because we never had the ability to come together and solve our own financial struggles. You get what I'm saying? What I mean by our own financial struggles is that we never, I mean, we did before, but we never had the chance to come together and literally build infrastructures in our neighborhoods, like the people of Black Wall Street did many years ago. See, the people of Black Wall Street understood that in this world, commerce matters, and we need to pour our dollars into our own neighborhoods. And the people of Black Wall Street over 100 years ago understood that concept. But these modern blacks, they don't do that nowadays, man. It's all about eye for eye and me for me and self for self. And that's it. And that's very unfortunate. And that's very sad. It's very disappointing and it's very sad that, modern day blacks can't do what the old school blacks did many years ago. And that says something about us, man. That says something about us as modern day black people. If we cannot come together like our ancient ancestors have done over 100 years ago, then guess what? We will forever be lost. We will forever be lost, man. If we can't come together like our ancestors have done many years ago, then we will remain lost forever. Plain and simple. But that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say, man. This whole situation is very disheartening, but I'm just calling things out for what it is, for with my own two eyes. But like I said before, I'm not the most smartest guy in the world. I'm not a true intellectual. I'm just calling things out for what I've seen, for what I've saw with my own two eyes, and I'm just giving out my confession. I'm just giving out my 2 cents on the matter. That's about it, man. That's all I can do. I'm in a sense, I'm basically giving you the forecast of what's going on in today's society right now, and that's about it. Um, yeah, but that's all I gotta say, man. Deep down, that's all I gotta say. So yeah, man. So I thank you so much, and have a good day.